Okay, let me introduce Winterbotham Darby, to who we are and what we do. We're the leading supplier and manufacturer of chilled olives and antipasti and continental charcuterie to UK supermarkets and food service. But what really sets us apart is the work we do in improving farm animal welfare and also our procurement and sourcing strategies around sustainability and responsible sourcing for our olives and antipasti. We work with a myriad of different producers, primary processors, growers and farmers. That's in continental Europe and also in the wider world. I'll give you an example. We're working with over 500 farmers who are producing for our continental meats and 350 olive and vegetable growers in Europe and beyond. Using the Authenticate platform has been instrumental in validating our objectives and the work we're doing around animal welfare and our responsible sourcing and sustainability strategy. We're using the platform to capture data right through the supply chain, whether from manufacturing, primary processing, or indeed right back to farmer and grower. For example, now we're using the platform to capture antibiotic usage with all our farmers, as we've got a clear plan in place in terms of antibiotic reduction. And using the platform gives us an edge as we're able to capture data and manage antibiotic usage per batch of pigs. In terms of the positive features of the platform, the first thing is that it's cloud-based and it's accessible right back through the supply chain. So we use it on a day-to-day basis within our business, but it's accessible for our manufacturers, primary processors, or indeed agronomists or vets access the system at source. Secondly, as Winterbotham Darby have made the capital investment in the system for new farmers or growers to join the platform, it's relatively inexpensive, which is important for us as sometimes cost can be a barrier to entry, and in our case we've taken that barrier out. The platform has brought change within the business. It's become part of our day-to-day operation and indeed helps us when we're in front of customer. In a recent example, I was presenting to a top 4 supermarket recently, and we were challenged around how we manage our supply chain. So during the meeting, I was able to access the platform and show to the customer the supply chain right back to source, how we manage that, and immediately the customer was reassured and had confidence that we had the transparency that we talk about. The beauty of the system is the data we capture is in real time. It can be retrospective or indeed look into the future. And we're able, by using the platform, to risk assess each supply chain and implement action accordingly. We're using the platform to ensure compliance to industry standard. For example, the platform has a link to the BRC database, so we can ensure all partners within our supply chain that they're maintaining their BRC status, which is a prerequisite for own label supply in the UK. Animal welfare is really important to us as a business, and we've just recently conducted some research, and consumers do tell us that of 52% of consumers we interviewed, animal welfare is really important to them. We use the platform to manage and monitor our compliance in supply chain against our animal welfare objectives. For example, every quarter on each of our farms, a vet will go in and conduct an inspection, and the results of those inspections are immediately put onto the platform. So we can see in almost real time how our different supply chains and different farms are operating. We would recommend the Authenticate platform to other food businesses. As a starting point, it's really user-friendly. The platform's access up and down our supply chain by vets, agronomists, producers, and they all find it easy to use. Also, we've even given access to some of our clients, so they've got complete transparency of our supply chains right back to source.